Hello, welcome to Perfectly Twisted. I am Nicole Eggert. That is Dave Palais over there.
Good to see you.
Hi.
I'm always impressed when you point in the correct direction. I have mine set up wrong. I'm literally pointing at you now, but I'm not.
No, it's mirrored. It's a mirrored thing, so you point the other way. Yep.
That's it.
Oh gosh, so I went to this event. It's such a small world. It's just baffles my mind, and I know it, but so last week I was talking about the show The Valley, right?
Yeah.
And they were talking about a girl from the OC who's dating the guy from Baywatch. So I go to this event on Monday night, and I'm doing the red carpet, and who am I standing next to? Like directly next to the girl from the OC and the guy from the Valley, who, spoiler alert, they're still together. They're still dating. So we know how that turned. We know how that turns out. But I just was like, and I didn't notice that I was standing next to them until I got inside. And my friend said, yeah, you were standing right next to them, because I saw them. They were at their next table. And I was like, oh, look who that is. And John was like, you were just standing right next to them. So they were at the next table. So I was, I stared quite a bit. And then also I was standing next to Kathy Hilton, who, by the way, in person is just gorgeous. Just
really good.
Yeah, yes, really. I was like face to face with her like this before we started the red carpet, and we're like kind of eye level, and we were saying hello to each other, and she just, really much more, much prettier in person than not that she's not beautiful on TV. I'm not saying that, but she just I don't know. She was more beautiful in person.
I find that a lot. I find that a lot. I think people who are haters will say, they just make you look like that on TV. But anyone I've ever met in person compared to the camera always looks better in person.
Well, it's interesting because some people are photogenic and some people are not. It's a thing, and it's not anything you can control or learn, or it's not a talent. It's a thing. I think I'm photogenic. I think I look better on film, but some people they lose something. Some people look better on TV. Some people look better in person. So anyways, then I started like scanning around looking for Kyle, and I see Kyle and Teddy. So that was great. They're also teeny tiny. We're all like in the same eye level. Also, two breathtakingly beautiful women, much prettier in person than on the show. I was like in awe. Even Teddy, with everything she's going through, looked gorgeous. She was rocking the bald head. And I was able to thank Kyle in person for her support. So that was really kind of
very cool.
Amazing. Yeah. And Teddy's doing great. She got really great news that treatment worked, and she's doing really well. Everything seems to be shrinking, and knock on wood, it's going really great for her, and they looked amazing. So it was a fun night.
It is a fun night. That's a memorable night. That's good.
It was fun. Yes. So everybody knows I love Lisa Vanderpump, right? I will forever be a fan. And so the new season of Vanderpump Villa came out. Of course, I binged it right when it dropped. Love it. And we've got a guest today from the show, and I've got a lot of questions, and I'm so excited to hear all about it. So let's introduce Sam Terry.
Hey guys.
Hey Sam.
Hi.
Hey, how we doing? Thanks for having me.
How are you?
I'm good.
How long have you been back from?
So we filmed in August. So I've been back for about 8 months now. Yeah.
Was that your first time there, or?
In Italy, I am blessed to say no. We, as kids, we grew up going to all these beautiful places abroad because my grandparents really were like, they want to spend their money with us while they're still here rather than give us a giant lump sum when they're gone. So I'm blessed to say that we were well-traveled as kids. So this is about my third time going to Italy.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, Italy's a great place. So what did your mom have to say about everything after she watched the show?
Secret be told, I did watch it with my mom. I'm supposed to watch it by myself, but there's absolutely no way that I was going to be able to watch it by myself. It was just too much pressure. So I watched it with mom, and you know what? It was good. She kind of eased my mind about a lot of things because you get in your head a lot, when you're watching things back. And mom was like, don't read into it. You're doing great. And surprisingly, she was on board with just about everything.
Okay, so you can do no wrong in mom's eyes anyways,
In
right?
mom's eyes, however, grandma has yet to be seen it. So that's going to get interesting. Yeah.
See, I would think that it would be more pressure to watch it with your mom than by yourself, because then you could, like, come up with an excuse for something if you didn't like it, or you could figure out how to, like, break
Right.
something gently. But
I didn't think about it going awry, and thank God it didn't.
no, it didn't. I
No.
have to say, listen, you were like the makeout bandit.
Ooh.
And I mean,
I'm going to use that. I'm going to put that in my Instagram bio now.
yeah, you were so anybody who hasn't seen it and anybody who has knows what I'm talking about. He had a thing going with a girl, Alyssa, right, in the villa. And then every time there was a group of girls, a group of girl guests that came in, there was always one that Mr. Sam got his hands on. But I will say this, I will give you this. You were very upfront about it.
Yeah.
And you were very honest. And I think that that's something that's really missing. And it's what made it acceptable rather than like villainized. Do you know what I mean?
100%. Yeah, I tried to be as transparent as possible going into it. I mean, the producers, they all call you right before we develop a friendship before we get onto the show, and they're asking about my intentions and whatnot. And I told them straight up, I do not want to be with any staff member. I feel like that just gets sticky. Lo and behold, I go and I make a really good connection with somebody, and she's awesome. And I mean, they have to go through 17 different stories. They're going through different people's stories. And so a lot of individual stories get clipped. And a big part of me and Alyssa's story is I did not want to do anything with her for a while, only because I was afraid of hurting somebody. And then as time went on and I was super transparent, she grew more comfortable with the thought that I was going to go do these things, and we were upfront. And so I thought that was the green light. And so I really had my fun. And, like I said, they don't go into details, but me and Alyssa figured out a really good situation along the way. And I'm really happy for her friendship now. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Kudos to you for just being honest. See how easy it can be, people? If
Hey,
you're just honest.
it wasn't that easy. I mean, I still had to make up for some bad actions, but nonetheless, I mean, I feel like I handled it as best as I could have.
I think so, because people will root if you're honest. They'll root for you. If you lie and scheme and cover up, then
Right.
they just want to bust you. And
I just wanted Alyssa to be able to make sure that she was able to make any decisions that she wants for herself. If I laid it all out on the table, she's like, no, that doesn't work for me. Perfect. We can be friends, but she was down with whatever situation we had going on, and I was cool with it.
These are the famous last words, is I don't want anything romantically to do with any of the other cast.
Yeah.
Like that's just not a thing.
You might
And
as well
nobody
put a
will
gun to your
understand that
foot.
until they get there, right? Yeah. Until you're in that environment, though, you don't understand that it's like human nature.
It's human nature, and we have no contact with the outside world. Like, everything that's going on there is just the whole universe. So yeah, I mean, you want to check off some boxes that you would have back home. Some intimacy is one of them,
Yeah. Yes. So how was Lisa to work with? Was she because I love her. I'm a huge fan of her. I felt like this season she was very scripted. There was a lot of
Sure.
It seems like a lot of her stuff was written. It wasn't like off the cusp. But so what was she like on set?
I think Lisa comes across like that because she's been in this industry for so long. So it comes across maybe as scripted, but that is all Lisa. Like, you can sit here and have a conversation with her, and she knows exactly what to say. She's the wittiest person I've ever met besides Dave. I mean, she has an answer for absolutely everything, and it's impressive to watch. But working for her, I mean, I said it in the show, she sets the standard, and in the hospitality industry, and everything is dressed to the nines. Everything. I mean, if there was one flower out of place on our drinks or anything like that, I mean, she saw it and she cracked down on us. She was a heavy boss. However, she let us have a lot of fun. That's what we were there for.
Yeah, she knows what she's doing. That's why she's so successful. Would
Without
you
a doubt.
ever consider like going and working for her? Like, she has a hotel now, and she has multiple restaurants. Would you ever? I know you're in San Diego and you love it there, but would you ever go and work for her?
Absolutely. I said it also in the show. I want to own concept groups or a concept group with different restaurants and some bars, and who better to learn from than Lisa Vanderpump? I mean, if she were to lay that offer down on the table, that would be too good to pass up.
Yeah. Yeah, that was your first red flag. That was the first red flag you popped up when you said, I want he wants to do like a STK thing, or like, like wants to own restaurants and bars. You're like, okay, I know where this guy's going. No, but that's great. And it's good for you. And you've got to do that while you're young, and go for it. I wish you all the luck with that. How about Stassi? What was she like on set?
Stassi she is, how do I say this in the best way possible?
You could just say
master, because it comes with bad connotations. It's just because she's a mastermind. She is a master manipulator. Like, whatever she wants you to do, whatever words she wants to pull out of you, she's so intelligent, and she will get them from you. But it was also really cool to see Stassi, be a mom and be a real person too. I mean, we have cameras on us 24/7, and at some point, you kind of just have to live your life regularly. At Vanderpump Rules, she talked about it all the time. I mean, she was able to go home. They were able to have their phones. We didn't get that, and she didn't get that. So we all just kind of let our guard down, and it was really cool to really get to know the real Stassi. And Bo was awesome too. Oh my God.
Yeah, he seems like a great guy. Yeah, it's different when you're living in a place, then they take everything away from you and they cut you off. Right. It's kind of crazy. I've been in that before, and I panicked. I mean, it was like that made me panic. I didn't like that, but very different.
The first 2 weeks were pretty brutal, not gonna lie.
Yeah, you feel like your freedom. I don't know. There's some kind of anxiety that comes along with it.
It's like island fever kind of thing. You kind of just be like, I can't get out of here, But the producers do a really good job at like talking you down, for sure.
That's good. Do you know anything about her new show? Did you hear anybody talking about Stassi's new show?
We weren't really allowed to talk about it for whatever reason. I think it's just because it wasn't announced yet, so they kind of didn't want any spoilers, so we didn't talk about it much, unfortunately.
Yeah, damn it.
I know. I wish I had some juice for you. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it's called Stassi Says. That's all I know.
That's
all I know about it. Okay, let's talk about Ciata. Right? Is that how you say his name?
Ciata. It drove me crazy trying to say their two names together the entire season. Ciata and Ciati. I don't know how many times I sat in front of a camera and I was like, I'm so sorry. Give me a second. Like, I need to regroup. Ciati's crazy.
Ciati. Okay, my theory is that the accent was fake, and he really has the American accent, and that he was speaking in the American accent because he couldn't keep up the British one. I know you couldn't stand him either, and you were very clear and open about that.
Very much so.
Yeah. What is your theory on his accent?
I think it's all bullshit, personally. After watching the show a little bit, I have more empathy than I did there, just because, I mean, I feel bad for somebody that truly doesn't feel comfortable in their own skin. But I just wish that he owned it. I think that was all of our problem. Just own it. You want to do a fake accent? You want to act like somebody different? Say, yeah, that's what I'm doing. Don't sit here and tell us that's not what he's trying to do, because it was evident, and it just rubbed us the wrong way. And so when Lisa said and kind of confirmed it to Dre, that just let the whole doors open for all of us, because we were just like, who are we actually living with? It gets a little scary, It was weird.
Yes, because it became creepy. Because
100%.
Like you said, if he was like, could throw accents around, that's fun. Like, I would play with that, but that makes you realize that there's something dark underlying, and whether it's, a legal issue, or if he's just that, like, not happy and not secure inside, then it's very sad. But there's something dark and brewing there when you're so cagey. He's so
100%. And we've since the show has been aired, we have had a lot of people from his past kind of pop up and say, that's not really him. We don't remember him. And it's all different types. Like, some people say, yeah, he's had a British accent, but then he goes on with an American accent. Some people say his name's not even Ciati. It's like Joel or something crazy, or Josiah. I'm like, you know what? This guy occupied too much space in my mind when I was out in Italy. I don't need it when I'm back home. I can't express how over I am with this guy. He just was too much,
Yeah, and I think when you're in a really vulnerable situation and atmosphere like you were, and you guys are all
Yeah,
in there together, when there's a bad seed in there, it's hard to deal with because you feel like there's like an enemy amongst you, right? Like because
100%.
you're all in this together, and only you each other know what the experience is like and what's going on. And when there's one bad one that you can't trust or that's sketchy, yeah,
We all
that's
sniff it out easily. But it was
yeah.
also a double-edged sword, excuse me, because he was also not treating Sienna well. And like I said, like you guys see, as you know, a pin of what actually happened, and he was not nice to that girl whatsoever. And that also played a huge part into it too, because he would act like some way with her and we'd hear stories from her. And then he would be different with us and then different with the guests. And so it just all played into the same thing. We are like, what is actually going on? Who really is this guy?
Yeah, she was Sienna, right?
Tiana. Yeah.
She's a little tragic. I
Yeah.
really felt bad for her. She needs to do a lot of healing, and he was just so cold when she left, when she got fired, and he didn't give a shit. He was like,
No
whatever,
emotions. No emotions. You're like,
none.
oh my God.
And what
Yeah.
do
He,
they say? That's like a psychopath or a psycho, like that's like a sociopath or something like that.
you
That's
know
like
what?
it's telltale
Along those
sign.
lines, I'll keep my mouth. I feel like I've said enough, but now the people are talking. So we love to hear it.
Yeah, well, he's not gonna be able to hide for long. People are gonna come out of the woodworks and expose him for sure. You cannot go on these reality shows with secrets, like
100%. 100%. And it's so interesting to see the people that actually like are supporting him and kind of identifying with Ciati. And I'm like, you did not finish the show, or you know what? That's it. That's the only explanation I got, because I don't know how people are identifying with this man, but I got people all up in my comments. We knew this would happen, but I'm just surprised. I really am.
well, I think, because part of me felt really sorry for him.
Yeah.
I feel when I was watching him, I was like, this kid is got a lot of issues he hasn't dealt with. Like there's a
Right.
lot of like trauma or something with this guy, and he needs to go work on himself. The two of them together, that's why they gravitated to each other. So I get it from that point of view. People feel sorry for him because there's something wrong. There's something
Yeah.
off.
I think all of us, even watching the show back, feel sorry for him too. I'm done with the anger and all that stuff. I mean, after 8 months, not talking, no contact, you kind of just lose all that. And now when you watch it back, you're like, man, yeah, the emotions are still there, but he does have a lot of issues, and I hope he gets it resolved, because he had some major problems for sure.
Yeah, it looked like you were ready to punch him in the face. Like you were ready. You
I
had
wanted to
it.
stay
Your face
on.
would get red, and you were just ready to.
Uh, I was trying to make sense of the whole situation. I was like, what's going on? Some of these people, they have acting backgrounds. They've been in, they've been models. They've been in front of cameras before. I have no experience with that. So I was their real guy token, if you will. Like everything that you see out of me was absolutely true. There was no story. There's no script, nothing. So when I got mad, it's because I got pushed to a breaking point.
Well, first of all, did you binge watch obviously the first season before you went?
I
Or
did.
before you
Well, actually, the first season, and we're all in unison with this, the first season was so insufferable that I couldn't even finish it. I told them I got through like 3 episodes. I told them straight to their face the first day. I was like, I couldn't stand watching you guys. And they're like, we know. First season was horrible.
So how did you get involved with it?
It's a funny story, actually. So I was watching Monday Night Football with my roommate, and his girlfriend was over. And then after The Bachelor came on, and she looked at me and she's like, would you ever want to do something like this? And I was like, hell no. I'm not built for TV, all this stuff. The next day I get a call from ABC. They're like, hey, we got your application. She filled out an application for me. And I went through this whole process, and then I went through 3 interviews, and they got back to me. They're like, hey, we're actually starting production next week. We're going to find something for you, but The Bachelor just isn't for you. It's not the right time. I chalked it up. I was like, you know what? This experience thus far has been awesome. That was probably it. And then they contacted me a couple months after, and they're like, would you want to do Love Island? Again, not a dating show guy. I don't know. Maybe in the future. Now I'm more comfortable in front of cameras, but for the first experience, I just wasn't comfortable with that. And so I declined that. And then a month later, they're like, hey, would you want to come bartend in Italy with Lisa Vanderpump? And I was like, yes. If I get to work and go to Italy, are you kidding me? I'm in. So that's the story. Yeah.
I love that. Love Island. If that comes back around, you need to go do it.
Love Island turned out to be the biggest show in the world, which hindsight would have been a lot of fun. Yeah.
It will. Well, it's not over. That opportunity, that ship has not necessarily sailed because they reuse. You can see it. You can go and do all the shows, and you could still do The Bachelor.
Yeah, I feel like I'm just getting started in this realm for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I love that. And you and Hagen had a special bond. First of all, I love him. I was a huge.
Yes,
I love him.
He's our main character. That's what we always talk about. Without Hagen, there is no show. But Hagen really was my best friend in the castle, no doubt. He just, like I said in the show, he brings a piece of home, and it's cool. I think that he also appreciates a guy of, how do I do this without being so vulgar with it? I guess a straight guy being so comfortable with a gay guy. I think that he appreciated that, and I grew comfortable with them and that kind of environment with my brother being around all the time, and I'm comfortable with it all, and I grew a very close friendship with him for sure.
Yeah, you could see that. It was definitely a little bromance going on. Did it take a while to evolve there, or did you guys gravitate towards each other right away?
This whole experience is like sped up. In real life, it's just a lot slower paced. This is all just, you guys only have each other. So we grew pretty quick within the first 2 weeks. Honestly, Hannah, me, and Hagen were really, really close. I'm close with everybody, but those people were just they're a lot of fun, my kind of people. So I gravitated towards them really quick.
Even that, what's his name? Not Mauricio.
Marciano. Yeah.
Don't ever be that guy.
No. He tries to get me to be, and I look at him straight in the eyes. I'm like, I am not you, my friend. I'm very different from you. But he has a good heart. He means well in real life. But he could get a little wrapped up in things sometimes. But for the most part, he has a good heart, I will say.
Well, that's great. Fine. A lot of people have a good heart. He's so like he's so full of himself, and so he's just so off in so many ways that it affects the way you look. Like, it affects everything. Like, I feel like he smells, and like you can smell him, you can see him. Like,
it's because he puts oil on himself every day. He's got to chill out with that. Oh my God.
He needs. I hope he watches the show. The problem with him is he probably watches the show back and just is like in love with what he's watching instead of watching and like learning. Do you know what I mean?
That is Marciano. Yes. Yeah. He's learning on how to be more of what he's already doing. So it's pretty bad. Yeah. And I can only see it getting worse. So he's good TV sometimes.
Going for that ride. Hannah just keeps getting back on that roller coaster. I like, ugh.
They've got this weird emotional connection for sure. But Hagen, honestly, is really good for Hannah. They are best friends, and even in real life. And Hagen makes Hannah realize how bad Marciano is for her on a relationship level. I'm sure that they can be friends at some point in their life, but on a relationship level, Hagen has made Hannah understand Marciano does unfortunately bring out the worst in Hannah. And she's come to terms with that now.
Yeah. And when I say he smells, I don't mean like he doesn't shower smell. I think he smells like he put too much cologne on because he was up all night drinking. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's oozing. He smells like a party. He smells like a bar.
I can see it. Yes. Yeah. At first, your first comment did make sense, by the way, in the other regard, but this makes all the more sense in the world.
Yes. So would you go back? Will you do the next season?
Absolutely. That was the coolest experience of my life. But you will see, like, on episode 8 through 10, Ciati's taking a toll on everybody, but we're all just beat to shit. I mean, like, we have no contact with the outside world. We want to talk to our families. We want to see what the hell's going on. At this point, the election's going on. We're asking people with their phones what the hell's going on with the election, like how the Padres doing. I have no idea. So I was ready to get the F out of there. However, my time there is just so much fun, and I would take that job back in an instant.
Yeah, because now you know, if you go back and do it again, you'll realize, like, not to panic, you'll know what to
Right.
expect, you'll understand that you can't know what's going on in the world.
I think that's the biggest reason why I want to go back, because you see such a growth in the returners, and I want that opportunity. Now I know what to expect. Now I am more comfortable in front of cameras. It's funny, my brother and I, when we were younger, we would put cameras on each other whenever we were doing something stupid, and we'd get timid and walk away. My brother tried to do it the other day, and I was like, you think I'm scared of that little thing? Like,
Yeah.
I've had those big cameras in my face, man. I'm not scared of that little thing anymore. But
The
absolutely, I
beast
just
has
want to go
been
back and
unleashed. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. Now I'm more
Yeah.
comfortable for sure.
Oh, I just love that, and I'm telling you, Love Island, you would have so much fun.
I
Do
think
you
I
watch
would
it?
too.
Do you
You
watch
know
that
what?
show?
I haven't watched the full season, but there's like 60 episodes or something
Yeah,
crazy.
it's a lot.
Yeah. So I have to emotionally prepare myself for something like that.
Well, because you know what? I think that it's, because like you experienced, they only take bits and pieces and edit it together and air it, and, they do storylines. With
Yeah.
Love Island, they kinda really have to show everything
Right.
because it's a
Right.
relationship thing. Yeah.
That's what our producer said. We finished production. He called me up one day and he's like, I wish we could be Love Island because you guys gave us so much content. We could easily throw together 20 episodes. And I was like, oh, I wish we could go in depth with more storylines, you know?
Yeah. And you should do The Bachelorette. That would be the show to do because you get to do all that travel without having to be, the main focus. You get to just go
Right.
for the experience.
100%. I'd be down with that now for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm
I don't
rooting
know
for you.
I don't know about how I would be sharing a girl, but I guess that's the whole point of the show, right?
Yes, it's a
Yeah,
test. Yeah.
absolutely.
Oh, I love that. I love that. You have to catch up.
I know. I'm trying to catch up. It's funny is so just a background. I've known Sam since he was about 10 or 11 years old.
Yeah.
And so, and I'm good friends with Sam's parents. So, it was so funny when it was all so secretive that Sam was doing the show. He wasn't allowed to say anything. They weren't allowed to say anything. And so
Right.
when I'm asking questions about checking in, how's Sam doing? Well, he doesn't have his phone and he's not in the country. That's the band. I'm like, well, what are you talking about? And then we kind of put it together like where Sam was, but we weren't allowed to ask questions, because his parents weren't allowed to say anything. And we were all like, dude, he's perfect for this. Like, if there's anyone we know that's perfect for a show like this, it's Sam. And not only that, it's perfect for first things that went through my mind was his mom's one of my friends that I bounce things off of on these reality shows. I don't have any guy friends that watch these shows, but all the moms, the baseball moms, because Sam played baseball for me. We always talked about these shows for years. And Sam, am I right? Your mom loves Lisa Vanderpump. So your mom would go and
100%.
eat in her restaurants all the time. And,
Yeah.
and it was always a group of girls in the neighborhood would go up to LA and they would go to the restaurants. And then my concern for Sam was Sam is always going to be his mom's baby. And whatever Sam portrays on this show, like, I hope she doesn't look at Sam any different than she whatever she has pictured in her mind of her baby boy, because this is a whole nother level. And so when he's talking,
100%.
I'm starting to laugh and I'm nervous smiling at the same time. But this
Yeah.
is fantastic. This is really cool for Sam and for his family.
I think when I told my mom one of her first reactions was, oh, I wish I could tell Dave. I love it. Yeah, no, she gets along with it great, and she knew what I was signing up for too. So she would never have advised me to go if she wasn't prepared to see some stuff for sure.
That's cool.
Yeah.
It's hard. I think it would be hard to watch your kid in like a social environment like that. Like, there's only so many things I want to know about my kids,
100%. I mean, the lap dance for 5 minutes on episode 6 gets pretty bad. So I kind of had to like go like that when I was watching with him. It's pretty brutal. I was like, how many times can we show the same clip, guys? My God.
Yeah. Oh, they'll reuse it and reuse it. You'll never get rid of that. Well, at least your mom is kind of desensitized. If she loves all these shows to begin with, it's not like a mom that has never seen any of them. So
Right.
that's good. That
Yes.
she knew what to expect. Oh my God. Do you always wear your pants that tight?
Do I always wear my pants that tight? When I'm working, yeah. Surprisingly. Yeah.
Yeah. The tight white
Levi
pants.
511s. I think those are my fit. Or 501s. We buy 501s.
501s. Yeah, I love a 501.
Yeah.
Sam, how has your social media changed since the show aired?
What has it been like? Close to 1,800 more followers. It's just kind of I have to put my phone off. Otherwise, it's just constant and it gets a little annoying. But yeah, social media has been a lot of fun. I've been having to try to learn how to do it because I like taking pictures, but when it comes to video and being more interactive with, my followers, I have no idea how to do that. So I'm just kind of taking notes from the rest of the staff. They seem to be really good at it. And yeah, I'm just learning along the way.
Yeah, you've got to keep putting content out. You've got to make sure you
100%.
keep it going. Are there any like terrible trolls? Is anybody being an asshole online?
Oh yeah, big time. But everyone thinks that it's Ciati undercover, so it's not that big of a deal.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah. Oh,
they're saying stuff that's like, I don't know, that only Ciati would actually say. But I can't imagine he'd be doing that. I mean, he's crazy, but he's not that crazy, Never put it past him.
Well, I love that. I love that for you. Oh my God. I can't wait to see next season. I wonder where it will be.
Yeah, there's a lot of rumors going around. That's what she's saying. I mean, that's what everyone wants it to be, or expects it to be, but we actually want it to be in Spain. That'd be a lot of fun.
Yes.
I think the biggest thing too with the whole returning cast, like you've seen comments all over Twitter and stuff like that, but I think the show just keeps getting better and better when real friends come on, and we developed a really true bond out there, and now we are all friends for the most part. And I think that if you let us develop a connection on this off season and then put us all back in the same cast, you have such a better show. I mean, if you put a whole new cast together, we're gonna have to start from ground zero and build these connections. Sprinkle a couple new people in there, but for the most part, I mean, I feel like being with the same people and the viewers being able to develop a relationship with the cast members, I feel like that plays into this whole thing, and it would be a better show for it long term.
Yeah, for sure. And I think Lisa Vanderpump knows that because her Sir cast, she kept those kids all together for so long because she gets it. She gets the longevity of it. But there's just sometimes some bad ones you gotta get rid of.
Clearly. Yeah, definitely.
Well, England would be good because you're gonna do Love Island, and that's in Spain.
I wonder if they would let me back on the villa if I did Love Island. I'm pretty sure they would, but different production studios, so who knows?
Well, yeah, but all in the same family. And then if you do The Bachelorette, you could go do the Temptation Island. Or no, not Temptation Island. What is it called? Paradise.
Bachelor in Paradise. That looks fun. Yeah. No doubt.
Yes.
I got a buddy, I don't mean to name drop him, but Austin Ott, he was on the Bachelorette with Jen, and he had a good experience for the most part. And his following has shot up, man. He's really good at social media. So I'm trying to take notes from him for sure.
Yeah. You just have to have fun with it. Don't take it too serious,
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
Show my day-to-day stuff, and like you said, not take it so serious.
Yeah, because you can overthink it.
Without a doubt. Very true.
I love this. So if anybody hasn't seen it, you definitely worth the watch. You can catch it on Hulu. It's Lisa Vanderpump's Villa. It's so good. Yes.
Yeah. Tune in for the drama. It's got it all. It's sexy. It's fun. It's playful. It's sad. It's a very emotional show for sure. But it's also fun.
And what's your social handles? Where can people find you?
TikTok and Instagram are both Sam with 2 M's .Terry.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't have Twitter or X anymore. So if you got a tweet to send me, just screenshot it and send it via text.
Yeah. It's all about Instagram and TikTok. Nobody's on those 100%. Other ones anymore. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Well, thanks for joining us.
I really appreciate you guys having me. I had a really good time, guys.
Take care, Sam.
Yeah. Later, guys.
Bye.
That was cool. That was really cool. Yeah, he's it's funny. Obviously, watching him grow up, he's always had the personality to be the guy to do this, and It's so great that his mother was so, such a big fan as far as all these shows go, and then was fine with him doing it. As you said, it's not easy watching your kid, but
Yeah.
she's all in. They were all in on this whole process.
And I feel like talking to him, I think, and watching him, I feel like he thinks about what he's gonna say. He's a pretty
Yeah.
well thought out kind of
Yes.
human. So that's helpful. Like as a mother, you can have some faith in. She did a good job raising him, so
Yes.
she obviously has some faith in that.
Absolutely. No, it's pretty cool. Yeah, it was one of those where they weren't allowed to talk about it, but I think we all knew, what was happening. As secretive as everybody was, we're like, he's filming somewhere right now. He wasn't around, but the smile on his parents' faces every time they kind of give little hints to he's doing okay, and we're like, okay, he's got picked up by this show, and so it was interesting. It was great to get a little bit of insight. I'm glad you binge watched the whole thing. I'm behind. I got to catch up on this as soon as we're done with this show. Like I'm only a few episodes in. You went right through it. Yeah, I got to catch up.
Yeah, it's one of those shows, quite honestly, I have to watch it consecutively. Otherwise, I'll kind of lose track because there's so many different shows and so many dramas and storylines going on.
Yeah.
My little tiny brain can only take so much. So, yeah, I was like cleaning out my product and makeup vanity area, which is quite the task. And I just binged the show while I was
there you go.
doing stuff around the house. Yes. Yeah, and you know me, I'm like Lisa Vanderpump fan. I just absolutely. And now that I met Kyle, I do now I'm like, how are they not friends again? These two need to make up. I need Kyle and Lisa Vanderpump to be friends again.
Probably no chance, right?
I don't know.
No chance.
I don't know the inside story,
Yeah.
but when I was talking to Kyle and looking at her, I was like, how can anybody fight with her? Like she's so real and sweet and non-pretentious, and I don't know, all the great things. Teddy too, very like just very open, honest people and down to earth. So yeah.
Good deal. No, I saw your pictures on social media and everything. It looked like you were happy, had a great time.
Yeah, it was fun. I mean, great
Good.
cause. And yeah, in a room full of like some of the top surgeons and top doctors.
Yeah.
It's always just a good place to be. You just get to meet new people who get it and understand and are affected and all of those things. So it's really wonderful.
Good deal. You mentioned the show The Valley. Did you catch up on The Valley this week?
Yeah.
Okay. What?
Oh.
Okay, so what do you think? Like, there's a guy code situation that happened on the show. Okay.
Is there though? I mean, this is a reality show.
Yes. You know what? You're right. It's a reality show, but at the same time, I don't know. Back in the day, you literally got your ass kicked for stuff like that. Like, what?
Here's the difference. So you're talking about the group text thing, right?
Yeah.
You're talking about
group text where a guy out of the group had obviously threw gasoline on a fire.
Well, here's the thing. If you are writing something, you are putting it down into print where people can read, and you're putting it in a group chat with a lot of people. This isn't so secret. I mean, you are putting it out there. One of the wives could steal the phone and look it up. So this is why, and he didn't want to break guy code. You could tell it pained him. But, anybody could go into any husband's phone and go look it up and go look. So he was going to get caught saying it anyways.
It was good TV for sure. In my head, I'm looking at him going, what the F, like what is happening here? It was interesting. I'm past that stage of my life. I'm too old to, play that game. Like you always say, don't say anything that you wouldn't say it if they were standing here, kind of a deal.
Right.
That's the way if you live your life that way, you're going to be okay. But obviously it doesn't work that way. At the age that they are, in their mid 30s, early 30s, there's a lot of excitement and gossip, and it's a TV show. I got it. But man, it was kind of vicious. The line was vicious, that she's sleeping around for money is horrible.
It's quite the accusation. Two things. I think they're actually older than that. Just
Oh,
side
wow.
note. I think they're older than that. Yeah, he said his ex-wife, people can get really ugly when they're divorcing, right? So he said his ex-wife is sleeping with a billionaire for $1,500 a night. And meanwhile, she's in a relationship, so that's where that would be like a bad thing. Um, but you wonder, like, is that true? Or did he just say that out of the blue? Because if is there truth to it? Like, it does make you wonder.
Yeah.
Because you don't know. Like, do you say something like that that's just far-fetched and made up? Or is there some truth to this,
Yeah.
Because she's a little bit I like her, and I think that um he's tough. He's tough to get along with. He's not the most likable character, although he doesn't bother me that much. But she seems like she's got secrets.
Yeah, she does.
She's got secrets there. She's not innocent.
It seems like it's hard to have secrets when there's so many cameras around. But
She does a good job.
She has a ton of secrets. I mean, it's funny when she was talking about, the walk, walking up Runyon and putting the makeup on. And you've done that walk. I've done that walk. That is not an easy walk. Like, I can't imagine having makeup on and doing that walk.
Well, Runyon is such a scene. It's such a place to be seen. So I believe that she could have, because people are looking and it's a place where you're going to see people and everybody's going to recognize you and stuff. So maybe she would, because she's on a show and everybody's watching it. And so that part didn't freak me out that much about the makeup, but especially in Runyon, the people are all dressed up. Some girls are like full makeup and in their underwear. It's like, I'm flabbergasted every time I go on that hike. It's wild. But
I must have gone up the wrong side of the hill. I don't know.
Oh, really?
When I did it, it was, I'm not joking. It's a hard walk. It was 7 miles up, 7 miles down, right? All the way to the top behind the Hollywood sign. And it's funny. I felt fine, Nicole.
Runyon Canyon isn't by the Hollywood sign.
Then I was up on, okay, help me out here. I went through the park and there's the, God dang it. What's the famous, starts with a G. The observatory, Griffith Park. That's why I went through.
Okay, no, it's over. It's at La Brea. It's between La Brea and Poinsettia and Franklin. It's in Hollywood on the Hollywood sign, and it's a circle. Most of it's paved. One half of it is paved, and it's an incline the whole way down, and then the other side is all rough terrain, and it's quite that climb to get up.
Yeah,
so
sure
it has both. But people get really, really dolled up to go there.
Yeah, no, it was funny. Walking up that thing was not fun. Walking down was even worse. My back hurt for 2 weeks because I didn't realize it, but the jarring of your back going all the way down for that long. And I was like, what the hell? This was not what I thought it was going to be. And I walk every day, but that was crazy. I was like, I'm never leaving a sidewalk again the rest of my life. This was hard.
Yeah, there's a lot of rough hikes, a lot of good hikes in LA. There's one that you can take up to the Wisdom Tree, and I don't know. Going up was sketchy because I was literally almost on hands and knees crawling, and I was like, how in the hell am I going to get down? And sure enough, going down, I was scared. I haven't gone back. I mean, I was shaking going down. I was like, one slip and I am tumbling.
It's rolling.
So yeah, pretty scary.
Oh my gosh. So, okay, let me ask you on the Valley. I found myself watching going, I don't think I like any of the characters on the entire show. I don't think I'm a fan of any character.
It's really hard. And wait, to go back to Jesse and Michelle for 1 second.
Yeah.
Jesse, he's a bit of a narcissist. And but when he said that the little girl their daughter looks and talks just like him, and that it probably pisses Michelle off. And then they cut to a shot of Michelle and the little girl in the car, and the little girl is a spitting image of her.
Yeah.
Spitting image of her mother. Yeah. I don't see the dad at all.
No, that's funny. Yeah, you're right.
Yet he sees himself in her. He thinks the little girl looks just like. But yeah, there's not a lot of likable characters. Brittany is. I'm glad to see Brittany being so strong. She's over it. She's done with Jax.
Thank goodness. Yeah.
Yeah, and over that. But yeah, the rest of them are a little bit hard. And the Dave and Buster's of it all. the girl whose birthday it was, like, she was too much.
Way too much.
Yeah, and she fights with everybody, right? So I don't. She's a little bit. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of hers. Her husband seems like a great guy. He seems like a nice enough guy. I don't know. I really don't know.
It was the Dave and Buster's thing was weird. The girl was weird.
You should.
Yeah, weird.
Right?
Yeah, it was like a grown person being 8 years old. It was strange. Like
It's
there's something. You got a
cringy.
friend over here who's crying, like devastated crying. She's, I don't give an F. I got to get my tickets. Like
Yeah.
what?
Her weird like neon sign and weird. It was very strange. And then the other guy that's weird is the little real estate guy, the little guy
Yeah.
who blew the lid off the secret of the group text. And then now I heard them accusing him of maybe like grabbing their wives' butts. Did you catch that? Where they were saying
No. I didn't catch
handsy. He gets a little alcohol in him and he gets really handsy apparently.
Wow.
Like, yeah, they all are like, and yet he's got this gorgeous wife who's like pregnant all the time, and he's grabbing the other wife's butts. But
That's wild. You know what's crazy is I know guys, I know groups like that where, and then the girls will talk. Oh, that person's handsy, and then I'm like, what? How did I miss all this? Like I was in the room. Oh no, pay attention. Person's always gets handsy, and I'm like, I think as a guy, that's a horrible thing to be known for. Oh, that guy's handsy. Yeah.
yeah, you don't want to be the handsy guy.
No.
No. And they always do it very sly and slick. And yeah, don't be that guy. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. Oh my gosh. That's nuts. Oh my gosh. All right. Hey, do you want to get to your mailbag?
Okay.
All right, let's get to the mailbag. Let's go. We have Nicole's mailbag. First of all, is perfectlytwistedpod.com. It's at the top of the screen. We get your questions in. Again, perfectlytwistedpod.com. This is from Heidi Bremer. She has 5 questions for you. Okay.
Okay, let's go, Heidi.
Here we go.
Heidi.
Nicole, I know you have several tattoos. Any stories about why, significance, any regrets?
I probably regret them all.
Do you really?
I mean, whatever. I'm past any like regret in my life or whatever. The only one that has no significance, and I just wanted to do it, was I had a tattoo done around my ankle. And I did it just to have a tattoo at like 19 years old, something like that. I was very young, and 17 maybe even. And that one was just to have a tattoo. The rest of them all have meaning. And tattoos are tough to me because I'm a Capricorn. I really like things a certain way. Excuse me. When I have a vision, like I want it to be a certain way, and
Of course.
you have to be open to like interpretation.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I'm only dying over here. Good God. Okay. You have to be open to the artist's interpretation of things. And I'm not that person. Like I have envisioned a certain way. I want it to look like that. So I had a butterfly done on my back. I wanted it to be like a butterfly in motion. I had it done. It looked like a flipping jellyfish. Like no joke about it. It looked like a jellyfish. I was like, what is that? What is that? So I had it covered up. And I had it done by a great artist, Mark Mahoney. He does amazing work, but he does a lot of black ink. Like that's his thing. So when he was done, I had a very stagnant black butterfly on my back. Again, not what I had in mind. So I was on this show called Tattoo Nightmares, where I got paid to come on the show and have it covered up and redone by a great artist.
Okay.
So then I went in and we took the one small butterfly and did like a scene on my back. And it's a lotus flower. Anybody that knows the significance behind a lotus flower, it's that beauty can grow from mud, from the dirty waters. And it's significant. It signifies sort of like the same thing as Phoenix, almost like beauty rises from murky waters and you can get through anything. And then I did 3 butterflies, and there's me as the mom, and then there's 2 smaller ones representing the girls.
Nice.
Yeah, and so it's cute. And yeah, they all have meaning. But regrets, yeah, I wouldn't do it again. If I could do it all over again, I wouldn't, but here we are.
Here we are. All right. Nicole, next question. Nicole, do you have any siblings? If so, are you close?
I have a sister younger than I. Unfortunately, we are not close. We are not, and I'd rather not talk about it.
Okay. All right. We can jump to the next question.
Next.
Nicole, what would you put in ideal guacamole?
Oh. I like it with lime, lots of lime, onion, maybe some tomato, and a little bit of tahini, and stir it up and let it sit for a while. Top it off with some lime again right before you eat it, and I could live on it.
You know, it's funny. I was in a Mexican restaurant about a week ago, and we're with a group of probably about 10 people. And the guy comes to the table and says, you know, you ordered guacamole. And he sits there and brings his own plate and brings a couple of avocados, and he has to hand do it right in front of all of us. And I'm looking at him going, man, all right, this is a lot of goddamn work. And then he has to go to the next table and the next table. And I'm like, this fucking guy. Like, I felt so bad for him. I'm going, how many times a night is this guy doing? His hands looked like they hurt. Like, it was like, oh my gosh, it's a lot of work. And this guy,
I love it when they do it at the table. It's fun to watch them and their technique.
Yeah.
Well, they have to do it in the back anyways. Like somebody's doing that all day long. Anyway, think about the poor person at Chipotle.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
You want to talk about a lot of guacamole.
I'm like, somebody make a Costco run. We'll just put it in the back. No one will know. It just, this poor guy though, he looked like, it looked like the equivalent of playing the drums for Van Halen for like 8 hours straight, watching this guy's hands. I was like, oh my goodness, this is a lot of work. You know,
nothing like fresh guacamole. Oh my God.
All right. Next question. Nicole, is there a song that you would put on repeat to get through a tough workout?
No. Never repeat.
I'm with you on that.
Never repeat. I need a good song after a good song after a good song to keep the motivation going. Otherwise, if you play it over and over, then you're stuck in a rut. Like you're trying to take your mind off your workout, right? So I need distraction. Motivation, distraction. It needs to change.
Yeah, the only time I'll put a song on repeat is if I'm trying to learn the words to it. But otherwise, no, I'm with you. All right, Nicole, best parenting advice for raising teenage girls?
Well, I think that I hope that you up until now, when they become teenagers, that they come to you and you want them to come to you, not dread telling you things. You really have to listen to them without judgment. This is really kind of the thing. You have to be a listening ear and not trying to tell them what to do. You have to treat them gently. You have to listen, hear them out, let it sit, and then maybe make some suggestions or what ifs kind of scenarios. But it's definitely an age where you cannot tell them and you can't jump in and cut them off because they're at that age where they'll just close up and then they're like, I'm not going to tell her. She's going to judge me. My mom was super judgy. So I like wasn't going to tell her much. So it's like as hard as it can be, sometimes you've got to really just be an ear for them and a shoulder for them, and reassure them that it's all going to be okay. But I think at this age, they need to vent and they need you to understand that their life is hard. That's the other thing. Don't take away from teenagers that their life is hard. We might look at them and go, we know that they're spoiled and they're privileged or all of these things, or maybe they're not. But their lives are tough. It's tough. And it's tough because of society. It's tough because of their hormones. It's just tough. So if you acknowledge that and you validate them, I think you're golden.
It's funny. My sister and my grandmother always said the same thing about my grandmother was the first person I ever heard that ever said being a teenager, it's tough. And then my sister said, it's the only time in your life where you have to be good at everything. You got to be good at Spanish. You got to be good at chemistry. You got to be good at history. You got to be good at every subject. Then you got to be good at socializing. Then you have to be good in finding a club or sports. And then, I mean, you have to be good at everything. And
Yeah.
it's the only time in life like that. And when you're done with high school and being a teenager, all of a sudden you just gravitate to what you like and your interests. And all of a sudden you're surrounded by people that have the same interests as you. And life is a little bit easier outside of paying bills. But it is not easy being a teenager, and you're figuring life out.
Yeah, it's not. And you're awkward and your skin is breaking out and you have to shower a lot. You're getting your period. If you're a boy, your voice is cracking, your balls are dropping, like things are happening. Things are happening. You're starting to maybe look at, looking at that, whatever you're sexually attracted to, or starting to get those feelings. And like, what if you're, having feelings for the same sex? Like, there's so much going on in their little brains and their little bodies. So yeah, I think it's a time that we have to be there and be support and validation for them.
Absolutely. Heidi, appreciate the questions. They're
Yeah,
great.
good questions, Heidi. I love them. Thank you.
There you go. Again, perfectlytwistedpod.com, and then look for the mailbag at the top to get your questions on the show. But that was it. It was a lot of fun today.
It was good. Yes. Go check out Sam on social media. Give him some support. We want to see more from Sam, and give us a like, give us a follow, give us a comment, give us all that good stuff. And we will see you guys next week.